Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for a crypto highlight video. And remember, if you're interested in any of the services I provide, make sure to check out the links in the description below for both the Patreon and Discord. And if you'd like for me to highlight an asset just like I am in this video, be in the Discord and give me the asset's name and ticker in the crypto stock highlight room. And I will do an exclusive video just like this one on that asset just for you. And this time, what was asked of me was to look into crypto.com or CRO USD. So looking at CRO, there's really not that much information on the monthly. There's really like no information. Obviously, we're just going down. That's all I can see here. Let's go to the weekly and see if there's anything more. Not enough for me to really give an opinion. I mean, we do have, from the this consolidation here, we do have a descending trend line here, but it's very far out into the future. Not really too relevant right now. Let's look out into the daily. So daily, okay. Oh, okay. So I'm actually seeing some very interesting stuff. So I can see a lot of trend lines just with my eyes because I've looked at charts so long. But I'm going to draw them out, of course, for everyone who's watching. You may not have the same sort of experience with charts as I have. I'm going on. Oh, we've passed the past the 10-year mark this month. So I've been looking at charts for a long time. So I'm seeing a lot of things here. So starting off, obviously, CRO broke this consolidation off of the FTX news, so quite bearish. Let's actually draw this trend line right here. So we got the low right here, and we'll draw to this one right here. So it gets the most information right here. There we go. Okay, so broke this level, tapped it a couple times, and then finally broke through during the FTX candle. Came back, tested as resistance, and sold off from there. So textbook break of a level, come back to test the level as resistance, and then continuation to the downside. So that's very textbook, and that does imply continuation of macro downtrend, the macro trend, which is to the downside. So absolutely makes total sense. Now, is there anything else we can see here? I'm actually seeing three very interesting trend lines. So let's start with the two really big ones here. So starting with this one. So this one's from pretty much the creation, or I should say rather the listing on Coinbase chart. I'm going to use Coinbase because it's going to be a relevant chart. We have to look for exchanges that are likely to be around Coinbase. Like them or hate them, they're probably going to be around. They're a public company for a reason. So we're going to use their chart just in case any other exchanges start going under. And so take a look at this. So we can draw two ways. I'm actually going to draw both ways because I think they're both fairly relevant. So the first way I want to draw from is pretty much this low, which is from the listing, to this low right here, right? So this low that's sitting at 0.1598, right? So this low right here. So that's from this massive drop and then started this consolidation that then led to another drop. So from there to there, what are we seeing? We're actually seeing price kind of oscillate around it, right? So that's actually very interesting. And now there's another one right here. So from the same beginning point to right here. So this low right here, but instead of using the wicks, make sure to pop in the bodies just a bit. So right there. Okay, so the reason why we want to do that is because we're getting more price interaction here, right? So if we did just the wick, that's relevant, but you're missing out on everything else. For me, trend lines are zones, right? So you want to make sure you get the most price interaction in those zones, and it highly validates it more and more. So the reason why we want that really low trend line down here is because if CRO is going to start breaking under a penny, this level is going to play a major role. Okay, it may not seem like it, but you'll see price come into it, hold this level, and bounce up and come down to it often. Okay, and it's very interesting that we have this essential, just like this is going to essentially play a ping pong match if we should actually break down to these lows. Keep this on the chart. It's going to be very interesting. And let's actually change all of this to blue. So we'll change the color to blue just to keep consistent. Every time I go down to the daily level during these highlight videos, I make sure to color code the levels of what time frame I found them. Blue is for the daily, red is for the monthly, and black is for the weekly. So we'll keep this all blue since it's all found the daily. I'm actually seeing another really cool trend line as well. Really, really cool one. So look from this high pivot to this low, connect this pretty much downward consolidation all together like that, and look at this. Look at the confluence. Incredible. This is why you really want to mess around with trend lines. It's not about trend lines being the end all be all, but they can pretty much create a image in your brain of what you're looking at, right? Okay, so you're connecting this low. Okay, then you had this swing high, then you had another low that just missed it, then had a bit of a consolidation, then another move down, and then you had another wick low to attach this trend line, another swing high, then another drop, and it came back down to this confluence level here, connecting the horizontal support, this trend line, and the much larger trend line here to the downside all together. Okay, so we'll circle those. So take a look at, like, this is massive confluence, and then again we have more confluence all right here. This whole area where you have this descending trend line, this really short-term one, and then you have the much longer-term one all the way from the beginning. Beautiful. So what this tends to mean is that we can start looking for, yes, price to come a bit lower, but watch for price to eventually make a breakup move higher to make probably another lower high from the macro trend. Okay, now this doesn't mean we're hitting bottom here, but it does mean that we're due for a major bounce. Okay, a nice bounce where you can find a nice gain. So what are we going to be targeting? Well, we always want to look towards the fair value gaps to give you a good idea where you can get to. So here's a bearish one that formed here. Not a bad place to look for a place to take profit if you're going to go long here, or if you want to try open up short, right? If you're going to try and follow the macro downtrend, look for places to go short. That's very optimal. So this is one spot. Do we have any others? Nothing right now other than the bottom of this actual consolidation level here. And then we actually have another trend line. So take a look at this. So if we go from pretty much this high, right, and then connect it to this high here. So let's do that. What do you start to see? Wow. I mean, you're having another descending trend line. You could even go lower if you want to try and grab more of the wicks here, but just keeping it more far out like that, okay? You actually have an actual descending trend line that will give you the I would say the signal of a change of character potentially starting to form, okay? So if you go up higher from here, there is no sign that you're changing character, okay? There's no sign at all. I know there's a lot of trend lines here, but I'm going to take some off, but I just want to highlight this one here. If this was to get taken out, let's say price trades sort of like this, right? So we break down, we come back up, and we take out this fair value gap, then sell off, make a higher low from this low that potentially formed, right? And then just start trading kind of like this, and then we actually start touching at this trend line, we find the field to break through, then you're getting a quick sign very early on, hey, we may be potentially breaking the macro downtrend, and we could be potentially going into a change of character that's bullish. So this trend line doesn't confirm it, but it gives you the signal to start looking out for it and start looking to try and get into that mindset and that the most optimal long position in that potential structure, okay? So just keep that in mind. We'll take this off for now because it's not a super relevant trend line at the moment, okay? It's very far away, but we do see in the short term what we want. We have this massive level of confluence of these descending trend lines where price clearly is still respecting them, and then watch for potentially we could break a little bit lower again, and then eventually we should find some upside to start filling out some imbalances, some fair value gaps that may form above our head. And here's one of them. And then we could potentially make, if Bitcoin does have a nice big move going back towards 1920K, watch for CRO to potentially going back towards the 10-cent mark to test the bottom side of this consolidation that was lost. So not the most bearish and very, very interesting chart I'm seeing here. I'm very, very interested in it. But you do want to keep in mind, you have to respect you're in a macro downtrend, and that has not changed. But I am very, very interested to see how this plays out. There is a lot of confluence where it's sitting at, okay? And that's it. That's it for CRO. If you have any questions, make sure in the Discord to let me know. I'm always open to your questions. I try to answer them as quickly as I can. And again, like I mentioned, if you want me to look over an asset for you, be in the Discord and pop it into the stock crypto highlight room, and I will make it an exclusive video just for you. And do that now, because during the month of November it's all free. This service, as well as the swing trade service, which we're currently in a free trial in the Discord for just the month of November, is all open to the public. But once November passes, you have to be a member, a premium member, to pretty much get me to do an exclusive video. You'll still be able to see the exclusive videos if you're not a premium member. I'll make the videos public, but you won't be able to actually ask me to do something and make an actual video for it unless you're a premium member. So make sure to take advantage. Take advantage of me right now. It's free for the rest of this month, and so far the services, the free trial has been going absolutely fabulous. And I'd love to hear your your criticism, and also any advice you have for me to make the services better, and whether or not you like it. And yeah, okay. If you want more details about that, just make sure to check out the Patreon link in the Discord in the description below, as well as the Discord link in the description below. Okay. All right, everyone. Take care, and remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. I love you guys. Take care.